Let's see one more method to compare two functions f of n and g of n. Okay, that is log method. In log method, rather than comparing f of n and g of n, I compare log f of n and log g of n. If log f of n equal to small o of log g of n, then f of n equal to small o of g of n. If log f of n is small omega of log g of n, then same thing holds good before applying logarithm. So that means f of n equal to small omega of g of n. But be careful. If log f of n equal to theta of log g of n, then it won't work out. So don't say f of n equal to g of n asymptotically. So we can't decide anything. So that means don't apply this method. That means don't decide anything. Okay, go for other methods. But if log f of n is either this case or this case, then we can decide. So we'll see one example. Before that, I'll give you one analogy which connects this problem to some real world problem. Let's say you have, let me take two business people. One is Raju, second one Rani, and these are the incomes of these people. Raju earn 100 rupees per day, Rani earn 10 rupees per day. According to Congress government, whoever earn less than 32 rupees is poor, otherwise rich, isn't it? So that means according to Congress government's definition, so now Raju is rich, otherwise not poor, Rani is poor, right? Okay. Now imagine a drought situation. That means suddenly a tsunami, otherwise that kind of catastrophe came. So after this catastrophe, what happened? Raju's and Rani's business went down, and everyone's business got affected because tsunami kind of things are socialist, right? So they will take from everything, from everyone. So that's the reason everyone's business got affected, and Raju started earning exactly 1/10 of previous earnings. So 100/10, this is entire thing is a story, you just remember it, that's it. Okay, so this 10 rupees become 10/10 rupees. That means Raju started earning 10 rupees per day and Rani started earning 1 rupee per day after drought. So now if you don't know the history, that means what was their status, by seeing these things like 10/100 is 10 rupees Raju's earning and Rani's earning 1 rupee. By seeing this with Congress government definition, we can say that Raju is now poor, Rani is poor. Now it is like applying logarithm, right? So logarithm does same thing. Now after applying logarithms, if both are poor, that means asymptotically they are poor, but it doesn't mean that before applying the logarithm also they are same, right? So Raju was rich and Rani was poor. But when it comes to after applying the logarithm, they might be equal. That's why whenever two functions after applying logarithm, log is a drought. After drought, log f of n equal to log g of n, it doesn't mean that before drought they are same. They may be same, they may be different. That's why I can't decide anything about Raju and Rani in the previous state, isn't it? So that's the idea. If you remember it, then you can understand this concept. We'll see some example to understand it more clearly. Example, I have 2 to the power of n and let's say n to the power of 5. So I want to know which one is smaller, which one is bigger asymptotically. So of course I have other methods, like we already know it, but still we try it. We use this log method. According to log method, if I apply logarithm, then it will become, this is f of n, let's say this is g of n. After applying log f of n, it will become log 2 power n. It is nothing but n log 2. If I apply here logarithm, it will become log n power 5, which is nothing but 5 log n. Now compare them. So 5 is a constant, you ignore it. This is a constant, you ignore it. Only see the remaining thing, n and log n. What's the relation between n and log n? N is asymptotically bigger than log n, isn't it? Already we have seen it. So that means the relation is omega. So same thing holds good before applying logarithm. That's why 2 to the power of n also omega of this n to the power of 5. In that way we can decide. Let's see one more example. Let me take n to the power of log n. Okay. Second one, 2 to the power of n. I am afraid which one is bigger, which one is smaller. I apply same method. Whenever there are powers like this kind of powers, then always go for logarithm method. Most probably you will be successful. Let me apply logarithm for this one. So log of n to the power of log n, isn't it? Now we know that log of a power b is b log a. This is a, this is b. B log a, b log n, log a is n, right? So you get log n, that will be log n whole square. So this is log of f of n. Let's apply log of g of n. That means log of 2 power n, which is nothing but n log 2. So let me take base 2. It will become n log 2 base 2 is n, right? So now log n whole square versus n. Already we know that n is asymptotically greater than log n whole square, isn't it? Please watch my previous videos, you understand that. So n asymptotically bigger than log n whole square, then same thing holds good before applying logarithm. That means 2 to the power of n is greater than n power log n. Here my idea is this greater than is asymptotical notation. Okay, 2 power n is omega of n power log n. In that way easily we can simplify the things using this method. Now I will show you a case where you get this kind of situation. That is, let's take n to the power of 3, n to the power of 4. Now apply log method. Of course you know the relation, but still we try. According to this method it will be 3 log n and 4 log n. Now 3 log n is asymptotically equal to 4 log n. It doesn't mean that n cube also asymptotically equal to n to the power of 4. We know that n power 4 is bigger than n cube, but this method won't conclude it. That's why. So according to this method, when you get 3 log n 4 log n asymptotically equal, so we don't use this method. Okay, don't use this method to answer it. Either you should get small o between them or small omega between them. In that way this log method really helps you a lot in comparing problems like any functions. Remember it. Let's see some numerical problems related to asymptotic notations. First we start with this one, log n versus log n. It's so simple. Let me assume log n as k, then this will become log k, isn't it? Log n is k. So k versus log k. We already know that k is asymptotically bigger than log k, isn't it? That's why symbol is omega or greater than. K greater than log k. So in asymptotic notations it is omega, isn't it? Now come to the second problem. N to the power of epsilon versus log n whole to the power of k. We already solved this problem, but we'll see with logarithm method. So here epsilon greater than 0, isn't it? So let me apply logarithm for left and right. So it will become epsilon into log n, and this will become k into log n, isn't it? So log of log n power k is k and log of log n. Now epsilon is a constant, right? Here k is a constant. So generally when you have constants, like whenever you have a constant into function and other side you have constant into function, let's say g of n, we can ignore these constants because constant doesn't add any effect to the problem, right? So only the remaining part we have to see, log n versus log n. Already we know that log n is bigger than log n asymptotically. So finally, since log n is bigger than log n, before applying logarithm also same condition should hold good, isn't it? That's why it should be omega. So now we'll see the third problem, 2 to the power of n versus 2 to the power of 2n. Let me apply logarithm. If I apply logarithm, it will become n log 2 versus 2n log 2, isn't it? Now asymptotically n log 2, of course I can ignore a log 2 because log 2 is 1, log 2 cancel, then you have n into n. Asymptotically n equal to 2n, isn't it? That means theta. But whenever after applying logarithm, whenever you have a theta relation, same condition does not hold good, may not hold good, before applying logarithm. Did you remember that? So that's why don't use logarithm method. Go to other method, that is limit method. We'll apply limit now. Limit n tends to infinite 2 to the power of n by 2 to the power of 2n. Now if I simplify it, it will become 2 to the power of n. 2 to the power of n will get cancelled. You get 2 to the power of n in the denominator. It will become limit n tends to infinite 1 by 2 power n. Now let me apply infinite. It will become 1 by 2 power infinite. So 1 by 2 power infinite is infinite. 1 by infinite is 0. So whenever you get result 0, we know that nominator is smaller than denominator. Is it not small o notation? Yes, that's why the relation between these two is small o. Whenever the ratio between f of n and g of n is 0, then the relation between them is small o. We know that. Now we'll go to the next one. N to the power of epsilon versus c to the power of n. Of course we know the result already, but I am just observing with logarithm method. Let me apply logarithm method. Epsilon into log n. If I apply logarithm here, c to the power of n, then it will become n log c. Now ignore the constant part. Here ignore the constant. Log c is a constant, since c is a constant. Now you have log n versus n, isn't it? Since log n is smaller than n asymptotically, that means log n equal to small o of n. Same thing holds good before logarithm. That's why here result is small o. That's why n to the power of epsilon less than c to the power of n. We'll see the last one. N to the power of log n versus log n whole to the power of n. Whenever there are powers like this, I always go for logarithm first. Let me apply logarithm. It is like a to the power of b, then b log a. b log n log a. a is n. So log n log n. So log n is nothing but log n whole square, isn't it? Now log n whole to the power of n. If I apply log n logarithm here, it will become n log n, isn't it? N log n. This is log n whole square. We have n log n. This part, if you focus, this part itself is bigger than log n whole square. We know that any n to the power of epsilon will be greater than log n power k, isn't it? N to the power of epsilon greater than log n whole power any power. So if I use that, so this n is always already bigger than log n whole square. Then if you have n into log n, that will be more bigger than log n whole square. So that's why I can say that there is a result omega. Whenever there is a omega between these two functions, then before logarithm also same thing holds good. That's why log n whole to the power of n is bigger than n power log n. So almost we used logarithm technique everywhere except in this case, isn't it? Let's see the last result, that is about n factorial. So n factorial is, we know that it is 1 into 2 into 3 into so on n, right? So you remember this result. N factorial is asymptotically bigger than 2 to the power of n. Okay, that means omega. So not only that, n factorial is bigger than 3 power n. So n factorial is bigger than any constant power n. Okay, so what I want to say finally is your n factorial is bigger than, that means omega of, small omega of any constant power n, where constant is greater than 1. That is one thing you should remember. Second one, this n factorial is smaller than n power n. So you can easily observe it. So that also you remember. So I want to say that this n factorial is lesser than, that means small o of n power n. So this is the second thing. Now the final result is log of n factorial. Most of the time in algorithms, time complexities will become log of n factorial. So that log of n factorial is exactly equal to theta of n log n. You remember it. So these are all about results of n factorial. If you remember them, so you can solve any question related to this n factorials. Whenever you have a confusion like which method to use, first you try logarithm method. If it won't work out, then apply limit method. So it's all trial and error. So it comes by experience. Okay. So try that limit method. Second one, logarithm method. Something will work out for sure. Okay. Especially for gate problems, these techniques are enough. Any gate question you can solve with whatever you learned up to this point. Okay.